as you guys will be able to see. Here we go. And there, okay, so apparently there's a fortress. There's a fortress mode for this map, apparently, so it's nothing like Arabia when it comes to the map generation. I didn't know there was a fortress mode for this map, so here we go. It's gonna be S White Desert, let me make sure, no. Okay, it's fortress, really? So apparently it just messed up the settings there, did I? Or did they mess the settings up? Let me make sure that I didn't do anything wrong here. Rules and settings. Yeah, Regicide Fortress indeed. So I was telling you wrong. I was giving you false information all the time, guys. Sorry about that. It's gonna be BCC. Regicide Fortress. Regicide Fortress is gonna be the map here in the last and deciding game of this series, best of 5 between Nadya's boys and Team 2k4MyAss. Let's take a look at the civilizations first. We've got Mayans, Mongols, Spanish, Chinese. The exact same thing, if I'm not mistaken. No, there's a slight difference once more. Looks like the Nadya's boys team went for Persian. So that's a slight difference there. Everybody is got Spanish, of course. No hunts. That's quite normal. But there's the difference. Persian here for Loiza. No Persian whatsoever for the 2k4 team, and that means they got the Mayans and no Mayan player on the Nadya's boys team. Nice and interesting civs. Let's take a look at the maps and positions. We've got Fire playing here on the flank position with Mayans. He's going to be supported by his teammate Juan. Juan playing with Spanish. To the other side of the team, we've got Dogon playing with Mongols, and we've got the other flank at the very left side of the map. That's Goku playing as Chinese. Goku is going to be fighting Northern Pike. That's a Chinese on Chinese fight between Pike and Goku. Pike is going to be supported by Loiza, who went for Persians. We've got on the other side of their team, we've got Zupi playing as Mongols, and at the very edge of the map, surrounded by... Yeah, it's not a forest. It just looked like it is a forest in the mini-map, not a forest. At the very right side of the map, we've got Wonder playing as Spanish. These are the teams, and I'm really excited to see this map because Regicide Fortress, in case you guys are not very familiar with this map, every single player starts with a king. And if their king gets killed, that means that player is defeated. That means the ultimate goal of this map is to kill the king. And if any team manages to do so, that means you will put the player out of the game. The rest of the team can continue playing, of course, if any of their teammates loses the king. But at that point, it's going to be a GG anyway, of course. And being Regicide Fortress players starts with more resources. They start with a couple of farms already. They start with a mill. They start with a lot of stuff. That means that the action is going to be taking place a little bit sooner than usually. The players, of course, everybody's going to be trying to go for a fast castle. I would be very surprised not to see that. Fast castle is usually the way to go. And right now I'm going to just keep the point of view on Fire for the time being. He's the one playing with Mayans. Mayans is definitely one of the strongest civilizations just because you don't need to build a castle. Everybody gets a castle at the very beginning of the game as well. A castle comes with every player. So that means they will be doing unique units from all of their castles, and that's why I assume nobody's going to go for hunts, because their unique unit is quite useless. And they're also not very top civ when it comes to late Imperial Age fights, which this map most of the times will end up being a late Imperial Age fight most of the times. As far as I can see, no laming taking place, and do keep in mind that laming can take place if any of the resources spawns outside the walls. As far as I could see, none of that was happening. So that means every player will have their boars. And also do keep in mind that players will go very fast for the boars because they start with the boars. They don't have any sheep, as you can see. They went straight for the boars. And let's take a look at the dashboard, trying to understand who's going to be the first one to go up to Feudal Age. That's going to be Dogon. Dogon with an incredibly fast Feudal Age. Not surprisingly, he is Mongols. He's got that bonus hunt that makes him have such a strong economy and makes him be able to go up to Feudal Age so fast. And we'll go into his point of view to make sure that he will have enough resources for a Castle Age, and I do think he will when this board gets completed, gets collected, completed. He will have enough resources to go up to Castle Age. Gonna drop a market, eventually a blacksmith. Here we go, blacksmith on the way as well. That means gonna be a fast castle for him. Dogon is certainly going to be the first one to go to Castle Age here. A little bit of fighting here between Fire and Zupi. Zupi is probably not going to have the best fight of his life. There we go. He just lost his scout. Because do keep in mind that as long as he's on Dark Age, the Eagle Warrior is going to have the advantage. On Dark Age, the scout has only got 3 attack. He only gains that extra 2 attack once he gets to Feudal Age. It was a little bit later with that. Only now makes it to Feudal Age. Also, the scout gets a little bit faster once you get to Feudal Age. That was everything a little bit too late for him. Unfortunately, just ended up losing the scout. And Fire is going to be able to scout him very nicely. I would assume that he knows by now who his opponent is. Let me take a look at that. Of course, he knows he's going to be fighting Wonder. Wonder went for Spanish. And he is going to be fighting the Pocket on the other side. That is Zupi playing as Mongols. Feudal Age going to be reached last by Juan. Juan a little bit delayed with the Feudal Age. And he did go for a couple more villagers than some of the other players. Let me take a look once more at Dogon. Dogon was able to click up to Castle Age, just as we suspected before. Dogon going to be the first one to click up to Castle Age. Very strong timing for him. Do keep in mind the players started with only 150 stone. That's also a slight difference when compared to Arabia. That means players do need to gather a little bit of stone in order to be able to drop 2 TC straight away. Wants to get the Castle Age. I'm quite surprised not to see Dogon doing that. I guess he will just try to buy or... Yeah, no, there he goes, sending now the villagers to stone. Making sure he will collect 50 stone from that one. And the king is dangerously on the outside here. I guess the flaring is yeah, hard to say what the flaring is about. I would say that this team here, Wonder and Zupi, will try to wall this to make sure that they are sort of team walled here on the left side. Of course, the team walls could even be completed around here and around here towards Spike, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Look at what Pike and Zupi are doing here, and Loiza are doing here. They're going to complete this walls, make sure they are fully and completely stonewalled. And there it is, the walls for Zupi as well. Going to make sure they're fully stonewalled. I do hope for him that the king went back to a safe spot once more. Can be really dangerous and risky to have the king outside at this time in the game. Dogon knows exactly that this might be going up here, so he just sent his scout right there to try and understand what are they going to do. Looks like in the meanwhile, Fire was just losing his Eagle Warrior. Right there, I can see the dead body of his Eagle Warrior. Nothing too major for him, though. And taking a look at the Castle Age times, you can see everybody, nobody is reaching Castle Age at the same time. Very short differences between all the players. Quite nice to see here. Dogon is going to be the first one to get there. And he's only missing 10 stone, and then he will be able to have the 200 stone that he needs in order to drop 2 TC straight away. He definitely wants to do that and start booming a little bit. Castle Age is there by Dogon. Let's try to understand where is he going to drop the TCs. One is going to be here at his wood line at the back of his base. I guess they will try to completely stonewall this here as well. The Goku seems to be the first one to start that process. Maybe a couple more palisades there, or just somehow made it here straight to Dogon. I'm not sure what will they go with. What is certain is that the Nadya team's boys were able to do that very nicely. They're completely team-walled by now. Nice job here by them. Of course, the map generation did help there a little bit. Not many stone walls were needed in order to achieve that. The team walls are going to be made here between Juan and Dogon as well. I guess the same could be made here between Fire and Juan, and eventually it's some spot. There it is. There is Dogon seeing where he wants the walls to go from here to here. Or now he's changing his mind apparently. Wants to have them here in order to be have a little bit more space to boom. I would be very surprised to see any slinging taking place in this map, considering that players start with walls all around their bases. And there it is. No sling whatsoever, at least not just yet. Fire seems to be doing a couple of units, a couple of elite, plumed archers, of course, not elite. What about Wonder? Is he doing anything whatsoever? Apparently, no conquistadors for the time being. I guess, no, there it is. He's got 1 conquistador. I would assume he will be trying to boom as well with 3 TCs. He's got 2. Third one on the way for him. And let me see if on this side, is there anyone trying to be aggressive here? As of yet, not the case. Pike making sure he's fully stonewalled. There it is. Pike is playing with Chinese. I don't see any Chukunos. I see 1 TC going up for him. I see a second one already up. So that means we're up for a boom game, at least at the very beginning of the game. This castle is a little bit unfortunate here for Loiza. Right at the back of his space, he's not going to be able to protect anything from his economy. But then again, looks like there's not much to do there anyway. If he just wants to complete the walls here, nothing much that can be done there anyway. Anyway, looks like a little bit of fighting is taking place here between Wonder and Fire. Fire wants to go back. He's only got the +1 upgrade, still missing the +2. Does not want to engage those elite conquistadors. Not elite, of course, my bad. Once more, it's only regular conquistadors, but with only +1, that means Fire won't be able to outrange them. It's going to be 6 on 6 range, if I'm not mistaken. No, 6 on 5 even. Looks like they've just decided for these walls here at the front, not the ones here at the right side of Goku's base. Is going to be these ones here at the front, or why is he... Does he even want to do them further here? Yeah, there it is. Going to make them further here in order to have a little bit more space. I think it's a good idea, but still need to be completed somewhere here, I guess. Somewhere here, some walls need to be made as well in order to be completely, fully, and stone-walled. The 2k4MyAss team. Let me see what is Juan doing. Juan has got a couple of conquistadors of his own. He's moving in here towards Zupi's base. There's not much that he can do there, I'm afraid. Zupi's economy is very well protected. If anything, Loiza would be free, but Loiza is too smart to just let that happen. He just closed himself completely. That means that the conquistadors won't be able to do much. Maybe get a hit on this villager. There it is. I guess Loiza is going to be too fast for him. There it is. Loiza moving away the villager. Everything right for him. Everything fine. That means a little bit of a wasted resources on those conquistadors. There's not really much that Juan can do at this point. I guess he could try to come here into Wonder's space, but then again, Wonder will have a couple of conquistadors of his own. So nothing too major can be happening to him. Let me try to understand what is Juan trying to do with that. There it is, just kissing a couple of walls here and there. There's nothing to be seen there, unfortunately, for you, Mr. Juan. And let's take a look at the booms. Most of the players quite close. Only Juan a little bit delayed. I guess that's because he did so many conquistadors. But look at the villager numbers. Very close. Northern Pike having the lead with 52 villagers. Very closely followed by everyone else. Dogon 51. And sorry, I meant Zupi has got the lead with 53. And apparently Northern Pike, yeah, I just misread there. It's very close, though. Does not seem to me like anybody's got a huge advantage right here. Looks to me like Juan could be looking to getting a couple of fatalities here onto Wonder's base. Nope. Wonder was too fast for him, and that means Juan needs to go back a little bit more. He does not have any armor upgrade. That means he is quite vulnerable to the TC fire. And this is one of the first times to see one of the towers in Regicide Fortress actually being useful. That tower right there was able to hit a couple of the conquistadors, making sure that Juan needs to GB a little bit more with his army. Investing quite heavy into plumed archers is a fire here. To keep in mind, there's no main player for the Nadya's boys team. So plumed archers are quite cheap. They don't really disrupt your economy. It's not that you're going to be spending a lot of resources on those elite plumed archers or plumed archers. You're just running around and around. And I fear for Wonder a little bit because conquistadors are not going to be very effective once the numbers of plumed archers are going to be massed like this. He just lost a villager there apparently by Juan. Juan doing a nice job there, doing as much as he can with those conquistadors. The team wall is on the way, still not right, just not completed as of yet. I guess only this chunk here missing, this chunk right there, and the one from here to Fire's base. Or where will they meet? Yeah, I guess will they meet from here to there, and then they will be completely and absolutely team stonewalled. Wonder now coming back with his conquistadors, making sure he can defend himself against Juan. He can defend against Juan. It's going to be a little bit harder to defend against the plumed archers. Even though he's doing a nice job, he just got one of the plumed archers right there. Fire still not with a 5+2. Wants to wait a little bit on that, apparently. And once more, we'll take a look at the booms. Loiza seems to be overtaking the lead when it comes to villager numbers. 80 villagers. Quite a nice advantage when comparing to Wonder and Fire, for example. Apparently Wonder is suffering a little bit more than he would wish for when dropping that TC outside his base. I guess that's the only wood he's got anyway. He's got such a short amount of wood. Walking far here behind was not going to be an option, of course. That would delay him too much. So this wood was indeed his only option. A little bit unfortunate there. Map generation for him. That means he's gonna be fighting against 2. He does not have a lot of elite of conquistadors himself. Let me take a look at that. Yep, he's not doing any more as well. So apparently he's just gonna try to fight it like this with a TC and a couple of conquistadors of his own. No armor on that. Interesting enough, Juan seems to be the first one to click up to Imperial Age, even though he was the one to do more army together with fire. So once more, taking a look at the dashboard, Northern Pike. Yeah, he's got a very nice amount, but it's Loiza. It's Loiza, the one with the most amount of villagers. Not very surprising. Persians have faster working TCs, of course. So once more, Loiza showing his power when playing with Persian. He also had an extremely good boom last game on the SY Sahara game. So once more showing his boom power. Now let me see how is Wonder going to be able to defend from this. He finally made a mangonel. He will need it for sure. Just lost one of the conquistadors to Juan. Nice job here by Juan with only a very short number of conquistadors doing so much damage. I would assume Wonder will be one of the ones with the less amount of villagers that it is. 77. 78 now, dropping, still in front of Goku though. Apparently Goku messed up a little bit by going so heavy with stone walls. He even did a second layer stone wall. He was the one running all the way across the map, and I do wonder, when are they going to finish this? I mean, if you spend so many resources on stone walls, at least make sure to complete them, guys. Very important. A lot of plumed archers. This is going to be so hard here for Wonder to actually defend, because do keep in mind he's completely open. At this point in time, I think Fire might as well just run in. These plumed archers, once they've got the +2 armor, I think they pretty much can tackle a TC. They won't be able to take it down, of course, but they won't be able to get much damage from a TC. So if I was him, I reckon that he could run in and park somewhere in between, kill a lot of villagers. Does not want to be that risky, so goes back a little bit more. He is up to Imperial Age. Yeah, he's gonna be not one of the first ones. Pike is gonna be that one, if I'm not mistaken. Loiza and Pike are gonna be the first ones to get to Imperial Age. Looks like Pike is preparing a push here on the left side. I will see if Goku is aware of what's coming here. Is Goku aware of this? I guess he is. Aware of this. He was trying to wall around here, was not successful. That means he's going to be pushed here by Pike. We'll take a look at the achievements, see if someone is slinging. Yes, there is slinging. There is sling going on indeed. It's Goku slinging Juan. And what about here? Apparently, Dogun got a little bit of sling, but not much. But no sling taking place on the Nadya's Boys team. Only sling taking place on the 2k4 team. And Juan is going to be the one getting the sling. And if he's getting the sling, I would assume he's going to go for Paladins. And there it is. He's got a couple of knights, he's got Cavalier on the way, and together with Fire, he's going to be trying to do as much damage as possible here into Wonder. Do keep in mind that Wonder is open, he's not completely walled. Well, now he's doing it. He knows what's coming. He knows the danger is coming, so that means that Pike needs to get inside Goku as fast as possible. Needs to be doing rams really fast with the Chukonus right there. I think that will work for him. Even a castle here as well. I wish for him that this castle would have been a little bit closer, but I think this is going to be enough as well. We'll concentrate on the point of view of Pike. Try to understand how will he try to get in here. I would assume that capped ram would be on the way. There it is, capped ram upgrade completed. And that means Goku cannot do much to stop this. There's no way Goku is going to be able to stop Chukonus with rams. Soon to be siege rams, I would assume. Conscription being made as well. And Juan, yeah, okay, looks like Juan understands what's going on. He won't be able to do much there on Wonder, at least not for now. So he needs to switch attention and move to the left side. And that's what Fire and Juan are doing at the same time. That means that Pike's push is not going to be as effective as it could. I'm not sure if Pike realizes what's coming. At any time, he will be able to see what's coming there. Fire apparently is not going to want to fight him from the front side. He's going to go for Goku's base and try to stop him there. Of course, plumed archers are not the best thing to actually try to stop rams. I guess it's good against Chukonus, not against rams. But there it is. Goku cleaning the walls, making sure that Fire's got a clean path to go there. In the meanwhile, I can see Loiza with Cavalier already as well. I'm not sure those are quite enough. But these fortified walls take such a long time to be destroyed. Pike definitely needs Siege Ram, and Siege Ram indeed is completed. He needs to wait for Zupi to come in with a couple more knights because Juan is there. Juan is there with a whole lot of Cavalier. That means this is going to be a little bit harder for Pike to actually keep his push going. It's going to be really hard considering how many Cavalier are there from Juan. Soon to be Paladin. Keep in mind, soon to be Paladin as well. Let's see, but he is in. He's in from that spot. I guess, of course, Goku is too smart. He's not just gonna let him go in just like that. Of course, he's gonna wall a little bit more behind, and that's indeed what he did. And this is going to be a 3-on-1 here on Pike. Dogon is there as well with the elite Mengyo die, so this is going to be completely impossible for Pike to stop. But Pike is clever, very clever indeed. Walls his army completely around this castle, making sure that the Chukunus at least are going to stay alive. The Rams might die, but the Chukunus are going to stay alive, and he's going to make sure that his teammate Zupi, or Lois in this case, is going to be there with Paladins as well. Another team wall going up here for the Nadya's Boys team a little bit further at the front. And let me take a look at what's happening here between Wonder and Fire. Fire went for Plumed Archers, of course, and apparently Wonder is going to go for Paladins. Does not have the resources to collect Paladins, but he does have Cavalier already. Let's take a look at the economy of Wonder. He's got 110 villagers. A little bit more than Fire. He does need more than Fire because Plumed Archers are a very cheap unit. Very cheap to make, still very strong, of course. Would be nice for him to get a nice mangonel shot here. Takes 2 down. Could be able to take a couple more down. There it is. Does not quite manage to take the other ones. Still have got a couple of Cavalier there. Apparently Juan is there with Paladins already, and Fire is coming in with a lot more. Wonder needs to be really careful about this, and Zupi needs to start massing the number of elite Mingyu die, otherwise Wonder is going to be in a very hard spot here. Let's try to take a look at what's happening on the left side. Juan is now just moved to the left side. Lois is there with Paladins. Dogon is there with elite Mingyu die. Juan does not like the spot. He's going to go back a little bit more, so it's a 2v2 situation here. While on the right side it should be as well a pretty much even situation there between Wonder and Zupi against Juan that is splitting himself in 2, and Fire. Even though Fire now seems to be alone a little bit, there's not too much that he can do with only Plumed Archers. These are elite by now. I guess he can just prevent the walls from going up here a little bit longer. He's not going to be able to do that forever, and only elite Plumed Archers are not going to be enough. Fire, you need a little bit of siege and maybe halberdiers as well. Still able to contain the damage war here. Loisa and Pike, and a big fight taking place here. Zupi moved to the left side as well, trying to engage here together with Loisa. It's a whole lot of Paladins here from Juan. Juan is sitting on 60 Paladins at minute 30. Of course, this is Regicide Fortress, and he did get a little bit of sling, but still quite impressive to have such a big amount of Paladins by now. And Dogon with a very impressive number, and Mengudai as well. Needs to be a little bit careful. I'm not sure who's going to win this fight. Well, I know who's going to win when Zupi starts moving in with the elite Mengudai as well, let alone when Loisa comes with the Paladins as well. Got a little bit of lag now. The Ram need to be inside. Do keep in mind, Dogon's so smart, not going to lose any time. Just run back. He might lose to the trebuchets, but the Mengudai need to stay alive, of course. And this number of Paladins by Juan is just totally scary. The same thing by Loisa, by the way. 60 Paladins by Loisa against 65 from Juan. Quite close, and this is where the first big fight is going to be taking place. It's a 3 versus 2 army, because Goku, of course, does not have any army. And this is going to be a very important fight. I think that Zupi needs to start fighting. Zupi's only patrolling here. That means that Lois is pretty much fighting alone. That's definitely not an ideal fight. There he goes. Still not fighting. The patrol is bugging a little bit more. Let's see if he lost too many Paladins or if this is going to be enough. Still bugging a little bit. I guess he's not going to be happy about this at all. And running from the other side is going to be here Zupi with a couple more. Loisa, that is, with a couple more Paladins. But at the same time, Juan running in as well. This is a very intense fight. A whole lot of Chukonus are still left here for Pike. The Rams are there to try and avoid the fire from the Mengudai. But Dogon is too smart. He's not going to just fall for that. He stays behind. And I think they won this fight. They definitely won this fight. The Paladins are gone for Loisa. And there still are a whole lot of Paladins here from Juan. Still an elite Mengudai from Zupi, but so does Dogon. So I guess this is going to be here. What happens between Wonder and Fire? I do wonder where is Fire. Fire is just chilling around with his elite Plumed Archers. I wish that he would be doing a little bit more damage because they can't hold here 3 versus 2 forever. they had a very nice first fight, especially because the patrol bugged a little bit for Zupi there. Very unfortunate for them. In the meanwhile, Pike's just gonna start spreading himself. Looks like he's got an opening here. He's got an opening here. I'm not sure he can see this. Of course he can see it. Let's see if he's going to be giving his teammates the information that there is a hole here in the walls of Goku. Goku's suffering a lot. He's on 130 population. Of course, not going up. He was slinging. He just closed it now. The fight here is still going in favor of Juan and Dogon. So these guys are having a very, very good run here for sure. But what is going to happen here? Paladins from Wonder trying to raid. And there they are. The Halberdier from Fire. This is where I was hoping for him to see, because it would be really hard for him to just fight Paladin with Plumed Archers. And it looks like these guys are going to be fighting 1v1 pretty much here at the right side. I don't see anybody coming there to help either of them. It's going to be a one-on-one situation there on the right side. The left side, it's still pretty much a 3v2 situation. Boys is still lacking on the Paladin department. He does need to bring a couple more Paladins into the fight. But considering that Pike and Zupi are there with so many Ningyudai, with so many Chuko knows that's gonna be fine for him. And there it is, the opening is there. That means that Loiza has got free way, he's got a highway here to just come in and start killing start killing the Goku's economy. And there it is, just gonna run in like that. I'm not sure if Goku is running away with his villagers. I think he just did for the most part of it. But he's still gonna lose many villagers. He's still gonna lose a lot of army as well. And we'll try to understand where is his king. And it would be really unfortunate for him if he would be having his king somewhere. Apparently not in the castle, so good thing for him. Apparently the king is gonna stay safe for now. Goku in a very hard situation here. This is Spike needing to be really careful about the Chuko nose here. Needs to go back a little bit. The paladins from Juan are there. I do miss the paladins from Loiza. I guess Loiza's just too busy trying to raid around. He did go in with a couple of the paladins, but looks like Goku did a nice job of stopping Loiza from just getting further in with a couple of, not a couple, quite a lot of stone walls here, 2 layers even. Juan's still doing quite an impressive job with those paladins, so many out of the game. And what about the fight between Wonder and Fire? Apparently a little bit of lag still going on here for both teams. Let me hope that this is going to be fixed. Trying to go into the game room to understand. Everybody is still there. Everybody is still there. So it's only a matter of fixing that. You lag like Chinese in 2001. You can see the salt is there. The salt and the rage is there. I can't blame them. This is such a decisive match, and whoever wins here is going to make it to the next stage of this tournament. So far, such a close series. I do feel like Juan is doing everything that he can. Juan and Dogon playing like true monsters here. Goku unfortunately wasn't able to stop the raid of Pike. That means he will be in a very hard spot, even though, considering all the pressure he was under, he's still on 140 population. Quite a nice thing for him. Trades going on for both teams. Both teams have got Spanish. So that means both teams are going to have the trade bonus that comes along with having a Spanish player. A lot more gold generated per trade card. Something very important. I would be very surprised not to see a Spanish in this game, of course.